Hello, and welcome to Frontiers of Eberron. I am your recovering from a bad cold GM, Michael St. Gregory, and I am with four individuals, residents of the town of Wormwatch, who, at this point in time, are on the other side of the day that didn't accompany the rest of the neighborhood watch into the mines of the Making Ltd owned mine just on the outskirts of town. And we're going to be finding out what happens during this time. It's the same day as several members of the deputized group under the watch of a mysterious, powerful marshal that only goes by a single name of Ellen, taking the posse into the depths of the Dragon Shard mine owned by Lady Eleanor Vitae. And while that is going on, the mine has been shut down for the day. There is no work to be had. Some find it nice to have a day off, while others are complaining about the fact that there really is nothing to do in this town when they're not working. However, there are four other individuals, three of which who've worked together, and one who has been just living in town. A unique perspective we've yet to gain at this time in our story. But before all that begins, we check in with the artificer, or at least one of three, it seems, that have passed through the sheriff's doors, Silas Hayden. Silas, where are you currently at this time in your recovery and your discovery, as it were, of your aberrant dragon mark?
It's definitely been the topic of research for Silas. He's going through everything that he can, which is a struggle because given the nature of it, he would be actively trying to avoid the Institute. He's talked to Clinton Hiltwick in the past, so if he is directly spoken to, yes, Silas will talk back to be none the wiser, but he's trying to be distant from there, unsure of how they would actually take him having something like this. He has also taken to wrapping that arm in medical tape, or medical bandages rather. Just saying, on the last adventure, he got messed up and he's still healing so that nobody asks questions about it, so that nobody can actually see that he's got some new ink, as it were.
I would love for you to make a persuasion check for me to encompass the last couple of days that you've been gone.
A single persuasion check. Alrighty. You know what? Silas is a persuasive fella. Let's see how this goes. That's hard to read. 18.
One more time with that number?
18. 1-8.
18. Yeah, for the most part, nobody's really paying you any mind in regards to any sort of strange, or even the most inquisitive and gossipy types are kind of letting you be. Henrietta Goodwin, nowhere to be found in terms of her infamous rumor spreading. And what are you looking to accomplish at this time in the beginning of the day, having now been a couple of days removed from the original incident?
Well, beginning of the day, first things first, cup of coffee.
Caffeine
Beyond
addict
that,
goes away.
yes, he's the worst possible caffeine addict. He absolutely would then just get right to work on anything that he would have to do in terms of like jobs, orders going on. Just kind of hammer right through it, speed go right through. And after that, he would be either trying to read a book that talks of aberrant dragon marks or trying to test his own if he can.
Well, you can do either. You just let me know what you want to do.
I think he'd take the safer bet of trying to find any sort of written literature on it, see what he can find out before he starts messing around with whatever it might be.
We will do investigation for this.
Beautiful. That's another 18.
Okay.
Nothing if not consistent.
Anything, you are very consistent. So you know that these are literally by their name meant to be against natural order of how they come to pass. You know from just common knowledge of the world you live in that dragon marks are meant for dragon mark houses. They're meant for the people who come from a certain type of lineage, or they're meant to basically be a sign of very powerful and dignified status. But they are still arcane in nature, and they are something that is meant to be gifted, though. So when something like this happens, it is usually treated. Let's just say you've never heard of a person who's gotten it and has just had a normal everyday life.
Out of curiosity, just because having read some Eberron lore in the past, I want to confirm that I'm not just making this up, and also I then want to confirm if this is something that Silas would know, that more often than not, people who get aberrant dragon marks are, if they are part of a dragon mark house, are usually they have a special term, but it's basically excommunicated. And furthermore, I believe some of them have been executed.
I'd say with your background and with your knowledge, just of the type of work that you do, the people that you've involved yourself with, you know that it's not really people who end up showing that they have an aberrant mark are not looked well upon. They are, for lack of a better word, freaks of nature. And they don't want you in their club.
Well, the other thing that Silas probably would have done, at least at some point in time after finding this out, and he would probably go to try to do again, also segueing into your next segment probably, he would be almost obsessively trying to check with Doc Davenport for anything happening physically to him that he is not trained to find out.
Well, let's find out. Doc, what's going on in the morning? As you apparently have a patient ready to show up at your door. You may want to unmute yourself.
Unmute, Pam.
You are muted.
Okay, anyways.
There we go.
So, are you currently at my clinic, like outside? Or are you, like, on your
from the time, like whatever time you normally open, the past couple of days, Silas has been there as you like do the proverbial sign switch. And other special point with this, This is the most that you have seen of Silas during his entire time in Wormwatch. He's not a person that goes to the doctor. No, I'll put that off. I can deal with that later. No, now he's like almost obsessed with his physical health.
I've definitely taken notice of that. So, night before, dog had a long night, and he kind of wakes up. You know, he was face down in his cot. He's got glasses everywhere, probably party streamers. God knows why he sits up and he kind of looks out the window. And he's like, "Oh shit!" And he gets up, throws on a coat, and pulls on his pants as he runs over to the door to open up the clinic. He's about 30 minutes late opening it up. And as soon as he opens the door, he's Silas standing there.
With a cup of coffee. Right? He's drinking one, handing the other one, just immediately, just like, morning, Doc.
Oh, bless you, boy. Thank you. I overslept. Anyways, come on in. It's a little messy in here. You might want to step over. I got a lot of broken glass in here. I haven't had time to clean it up. What's bothering you today?
Oh, in the past couple days, yeah, Doc is trusted. Silas would have said, like, don't know where it came from, but got this thing, and you would know that he has the aberrant dragon mark, and that he's just looking for any and all signs of what it might be, because he hasn't had anything happen with it.
I'm gonna usher you over to. I'm gonna like brush a bunch of stuff off of like a patient bench of mine, and I'm gonna gesture for you to sit down. I'm gonna get out some of my gear, my little toolkit, and I'm just gonna. All right, son, I'm gonna need you to roll up your arm for me so I can
Absolutely
take a look at
Pulls up the
everything.
sleeve, starts undoing the medical bandage, and there you see it, the absolutely beautiful aberrant dragon mark that the edges of which look to be, let me think here, look to be burned into his skin, I believe is the description that was going through there. And that is on top of the normal patches of brass dragon scales that he normally has.
Does it look any different from the previous visits that that you made to me?
That would be up to
I would say
Majesty Lord D.
I would say roll medicine to just get an idea of the progression.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so what you've noticed is that you don't see any sort of like skin infection or anything like that. It doesn't seem like there is any sort of it almost does in fact look like a branding, but there is surprisingly no scar tissue or any sort of sign of a poor job of someone, if someone were to do that to any animal. It just looks like it kind of has naturally burnt into his flesh. Yeah, and you do see that it actually has grown into those minor pieces of brass dragon scale, of which now I believe you are the only other person aware of this particular physical abnormality in Silas. Unless you've told anybody else. I'm not sure. Because no one necessarily else has brought it up. I think maybe Vara was the only other person who may have trusted that info. Yeah.
A couple other people might know here and there, because it's not exactly localized to one spot here or there. The art that I use for him, he's actually got a patch like under one of his eyes that, depending on the sunlight, maybe could be a rash or something, I guess, that some people might pass off as. But the only other person, huge callback, that would know would actually have been Miles in one of our first ever episodes or sessions, because he was in fact a dragonborn. So there was a little bit of common ground there.
Yes, a young farm boy, dragonborn, who has since returned back to the Isles to the south, but was the only other person aware of that on you. Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna take a swig from the mug that you gave me when you came in. I don't know, man. It's as clean as the day you first brought it to me. Matter of fact, I'm kind of surprised it's not. In fact, it looks like it's sealed it up. It's so matted. Well, I can't really explain it. Do you have any other symptoms? Sleeplessness, dreams. This is borderline supernatural. I don't know how it healed up so well.
Well, Doc, sleeplessness, that kind of goes with all the coffee that I drink. I mean, I just can't seem to put the chisel down.
Yeah.
So that's a regular occurrence. The symptom would be if I was getting too much sleep, actually. Beyond that, as far as I'm aware, Michael, nothing else has really. It's just there.
No, the only you actually lucked out on terms of rolling for the flaw because it just became that the skin around the mark is burned, scaly, or withered.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, so I mean, he'll just kind of nod and go, "Well, in all honesty, you telling me that it hasn't gotten worse is the best news I've gotten on it."
I would say the good news is that, yeah, I mean, it looks like it was pretty nasty when you might have first gotten it. Is Doc good enough to know if the burn looks like it was applied from the outside or the inside? I have no
would say
idea.
with your 20 from earlier, yeah, like I said, it does feel like it does look more like a branding, if anything else.
Something external. Okay. I mean, I don't know. This might be outside my general scope of practice. I don't deal with the occult. I just don't. I don't know what this is. But if it gets worse at all, you know who to come to. And your secret's safe with me, son. No one's ever got to know about this if you don't want them to know about it, okay?
Doc, you are both a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you very much.
I know.
Doc, if you could give me an just straight intelligence roll right now.
All right. 14.
You are aware that there are folk in town that deal with livestock and that have a bit more knowledge in terms of things to look for if branding and any signs of treatment or any if something were to go wrong or anything like that. You know that there is a farmer in town, a furball gentleman that goes by the name of Terry. And Terry, we will ask real quick though, where would you be located a couple of hours after sunrise?
Ooh, a couple hours after sunrise. Most of the chores are already done. Kind of getting around to maybe out in the field. All the livestock has already been checked. But yeah, probably out and about, just checking crops and maybe harvesting a few.
Okay. If you'll indulge us, can you describe for us what Terry looks like and what their farm is like in the district of Wormwatch?
Yeah, so Terry is a 6'5" furbolg individual. He's got kind of broad shoulders, disproportionate nose to the rest of his face, kind of a little bit bigger, and long kind of floppy ears. Usually has a kind of a beanie over the top of him that makes him just sink even down further, just over the top. He might be 6'5", but he might as well be like 5'8" because he has a terrible slouch. Years of just pushing a plow, because his favorite farm animal, Chuck, will not pull his weight. It's his oxen. So Chuck, his oxen, always follows him wherever he goes. So if you see him out there, you'll probably see Chuck. As far as the farm, he's got a few chickens, a horse or two, a donkey, maybe a few goats. As far as the crops, barley for like barley and hops sort of thing, sells a lot to meadery, corn, tomatoes, cucumbers, that sort of thing. Tomatoes and cucumbers, and the corn usually go to a market of sorts weekly, and the rest of the crops throughout the year. He does pumpkins as well towards the fall, and individual ones. But for the most part, right now, what you'll see is a lot of barley, hops, and some of those fresh vegetables there.
And with that, your biggest client is in fact the End World Brewery, which is right next to the Institute and across from Fort Liberty. They have gladly paid you and picked up another shipment of all the ingredients that they love to get directly from the source, being that you are one of 4 major farms in the town itself. But Doc, you do remember, Terry Lowe. There's a person who would know a thing or two about a thing or two. And you don't necessarily know that they don't deal with animals directly in terms of like branding, but you know that that's the farmer you remember the name by the most.
Oh my God, Doc is horrible. I don't remember anybody.
We love Doc.
Doc is. I got one.
Listen,
thing
intelligence
on my mind.
roles don't necessarily mean that they know everything.
No.
It means they just know something very well.
I remember. I'm gonna kind of help Silas off the table and then hand him a fresh batch of wraps because the other ones that he was doing look like they're being worn out a little bit. And here you go. Actually, I just had a most enlivening thought. I'm thinking, you know that Terry guy, the guy that runs the farm a little outside of town?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Terry Love. I'm thinking.
He's got fixed his fences a few times.
Yeah, but I'm thinking I might go make his acquaintance and ask him what he knows about branding, if he's got any kind of treatment like that. I think he deals with like oxen or chickens. Gods know I don't. But I'll send you on your way, and I'll go ahead and go talk to him. And next time you come up, I'm sure I'll have some kind of salve for you or something.
Well, you know what? I can go with you, and just because I've been asking you about the medical side of this. I've been trying to confer with Mr. Luckfoot on perhaps the Arcana side of this as well. So maybe we could pick him up along the way.
I think that'd be actually very smart. Good forward thinking. All right, let's go ahead and head out there.
On your way, we will now arrive at the workspace of Holiday Luckfoot, currently residing in their office in the Central Timber Company, which just happens to not be too far from the South Plains District Farms, where Terry happens to work. So it's amazing how narratively this all just came together at this point. But Holiday, if you wouldn't mind, what is going on in these late hours of the morning?
I think Holiday would be looking over his books, just making sure, and making appearances with the workforce of the lumberyard, just to make sure everybody thinks that he's a legitimate businessman. And when he's not out mingling with subordinate staff, he is in his office, currently working on a. He's got a cask full of whiskey that he's been adding shavings of carrots to, trying to create a new brew of whiskey with carrot shavings in it.
Okay. Do you have
A brewer's supply kit? Yeah.
brewer's supply kit? Okay. We're gonna run a kit check on that, and all I want you to do is roll the number, and then send it to me privately,
Gotcha.
because you and I will know how good it is. But should anyone else try it, well, we'll find out.
All right, sending it to you now.
As you're doing this, you're just finishing up talks with one of the supervisors who goes by the name of Alvin Brandwillow. They are a human. They're human. They're just a lumberyard worker, but they're the one that is kind of taken on like a supervisor role at this point. And well, I tell you, Mr. Luckfoot, I sure am worried about the way that the town has been. I don't know, but I know you've been involved with just like checking up on folk and making sure that they're all right. And there's this like there's something uneasy in the air, and I can't put my finger on it. But the way that I keep hearing talk of in the mines and people talking about maybe some folk going on there and nobody trusting what's going on at the Institute, let alone the fact that nobody ain't seen anybody in the fort maybe nigh on 2 weeks in a row now. Hasn't been one patrol, hasn't been any mercs coming in or coming out, and heck, none of the houses seem to be even coming to the services on Soul. Even though Brother Mason be talking to everybody and saying, come on in, and he's packing that house as much as they can. I mean, they got to put seats on the outside at this point, projecting it all with some, thaumaturgical means or whatnot. I don't know. I'm just saying, Mr. Luckfoot, that I'm much happier that I am working with you and not just, any other faction in this town, because it feels like unfortunate lines are being divided or starting to be drawn up and dividing folks. I ain't like it.
I understand your concern, my friend. I assure you this town is in very capable hands with the new sheriff and some of my fellow associates as well. Do your best to quell these types of rumors within the working force. We don't need this being blown out of control. I will see to it that this matter will be addressed.
Well, it's much appreciated, Mr. Luckfoot. All of us are real proud of the work that we're doing for you. And, we understand that your business is your own, and we shall respect that. You have yourself a good day, sir.
You as well. Thank you. Take care.
All right. So, after a few moments and you doing a little bit of mixology, Silas and Doc arrive at your office door. And they greet you.
I'll go ahead and... Hello?
It's unlocked. Feel free to come in.
All right. Just want to make sure. I want to walk. I've had people walking on me before. I go ahead and walk in.
Doc, I appreciate the formality, but this is a
common courtesy.
Working space. What goes on in my private life does not transpire here.
No, just saying, being one of the people that walked in on Doc a few days ago, this is necessary. Let Doc knock.
Anyways,
let Doc
I'm sorry to barge in on this fine day, but I don't know. I mean, how have you been holding up? How have you been?
I've been doing just fine. Just working on a little brew of batch of whiskey here.
Whiskey, you say?
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
you do notice that there are cups and there are glasses, tumblers available.
No, I don't want to intrude on your reserves, sir. But I can feel the effects of my own whiskey wearing off. This smells like a brand new brew. I've never smelled something so delightful. Could I?
Your nose does not fail you. I must warn you, this is a premature batch. But by all means, feel free to go ahead and.
That's all right. I've already put my liver through so much. There's no going back. Go ahead and pass me a glass.
He'll turn the spigot, letting out at least a half ounce of whiskey into the rocks glass, and he'll grab a cube of ice just to get it chilled a little bit, wafts it, and then hands it to Doc as he
Bottoms up. What do I taste?
First, you wouldn't mind making a Constitution save.
Okay.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I saw the number you sent me.
No, I got an 8.
Either that was really high or really low that he sent.
It's an 8.
Okay.
Fuck.
Well, the first thing is it's very strong. There is a strain immediately that burns, and the it's like almost, it might as well be pure grain at this point, but it feels so unfiltered because the remnants of essentially stewed carrot juice that is mixed in with this odd flavor just makes you feel like you've tasted the most bitter stew that you have ever tasted at that point. And it's the kind of like burn that just immediately makes you start coughing hard from it. But luckily it's not bad enough where you would be poisoned. So
Oh, what the hell? You trying to kill people? God, wait. Ooh,
Doc,
I think that is enough for
I
me.
warned you ahead of time. This is a premature batch.
I
just
didn't know
getting
you
started
meant
on it.
experimental squared. My goodness gracious. Holy cow.
don't take another sip. Oh dear God, I was just like,
Rolling
Yeah,
out.
good points. Good points. I was gonna be like, that, we could put that down. Yeah, that's fine.
with this is what
We
Anyways,
just toss it outside. Grass catches fire.
Choking back a laugh, Holiday turns his gaze to Silas after witnessing the previous state he was.
this is not
witnessing,
the carrot.
yes, I know.
After learning about Silas's previous condition, he tips his hat to him. Silas, it's good to see you're back on your feet, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Were you able to give a look into anything using your expertise and connections?
That's a good point. Anything do I need? History? Or
What
any of
exactly
my
were you researching during this time?
We did do he did reach out to his network for the Death Galactory?
Yes, the
Phylactery.
phylactery. Yes.
Phylactery. He did reach out to his network for that, and then he would be also utilizing the library at his disposal here in the office to pull up anything he knows about the Dragon Mark as well.
Okay. Let's do this. Give me a D100 roll, and based on the percentage, we will see how much research was relayed back to you.
Let's do the new Christmas one and the purpley starry one. That is a 0 and a 70, so I'm guessing it's a 70%.
70%. Okay. So in terms of, no one was able to find anything specifically noting the term deathbound phylactery, but there was a lot of cross references with information that you provided in regards to House Vol and the Mark of Death being two things that you really emphasized they looked for. But one thing that came back repeatedly was that it seems as though that there was a dark ritual that was done allegedly, in the early elven days of when House Vol allegedly existed. Something that was, in some languages, called a necromantic convergence. The point of which not is really known, but it seems as though that if there are points in nature on this planet, they're called convergences, and that's when planes oversect each other for a brief amount of time. And you know this personally because it is how creatures from Thalanis, the Fey realm, carry themselves into the material plane. It is not so much a random thing as it is a kind of natural order of alignment when these convergences happen. There are, you know that convergences can be done on a mechanical means by the very fact that it's been used in everyday tech. Sharn, the biggest metropolis in Corvair, the nation, is known for using convergence tech to power the city by pulling from the fire plane and from the water plane to make these manifest zones in order to powerfully pull the power from these planes and allow the city to exist in the state it is. But a necromantic convergence does, like you say, sound absolutely awful, with no context to be truly provided around it. But it is the thing that seems to align with the research that you've been doing.
Okay. So yeah, he would pull out that research material, showing it to Silas and Doc, since he's now in the room as well. This is about as far as much information I was able to gather at this point, at this juncture. But once my contacts possibly can dig up any more information, I'll relay that to you as soon as I get it.
I appreciate that. Well, looks like we're almost literally going to go talk to a man about a horse, so I don't know if you got anything going on, but perhaps it might end up shedding a little bit more light on what's going on and what has transpired, especially to my right side.
Sounds like a plan. I could use a little leg stretching. Let me go grab my coat and my slinger.
And get out of the way of the fumes that are coming out of your pot there.
I gotta add some honey to the batch. I think that'll level it out.
Reminds me, Holiday, when you gonna let me make a nice wand for you?
You know what? It's high time. I mean, I don't know what I could do with a wand. And I take out my bone saw that I've been somehow hiding behind myself this whole time. I was like, I got this one right here. Her name's Constantine.
Everybody needs a good sidearm.
Listen, Silas, I do appreciate the generosity, but you know that slinger that I got from Mr. Clicks way back when, you can experiment with that a little bit. Maybe adjust it to my dimensions for my hand.
Yeah, we'll give that a go. We'll see what we can see.
Gotcha. Let's get on the road, shall we?
All right, let's head out.
As he lights up the cigarette, let's ride.
All right, and you arrive at the quaint farm of a Terry Lowe. And what do they see when they arrive, Mr. Terry?
As you approach on the road, you would see the stereotypical kind of entryway sign with a little symbol in the middle that is indicative of the family farm of the Lowe's, and a little small humble house to the left, and past that, trees and fields and a few pens as well.
And you see 3 individuals whom you've seen about town, never having formally met them, but you are aware of their existence, and you know, obviously, Doc is the go-to cleric. Despite there being an official cleric's house, they are the most reliable doctor in the town.
That's so bad.
Would he have taken something to them
Yeah.
or called him out to look at something?
Yeah.
Does
All
Doc
they
have a
luckily
veterinary
you are
degree
aware
as
that,
well?
Oh, man. I mean,
you're aware of Holiday's more infamous background, some would say, of their gambling repertoire. Silas, I don't think you've ever met before, being the recluse that they kind of are with their studies and arcane technological developments.
I mean, he was trying to pay off debts doing any handyman work that he could around town, so maybe once or twice.
There-
But
there maybe he just, like-
are-
He's got one of those faces.
Alfie?
So seeing three, seeing 3 individuals, 2 of who he kind of knows, he'll step off his porch, and he'll always carry this even about town. He's got an old farm tool in his hand that's dull and rusted, just an average hoe. That's what it is.
yeah.
Just
That's
carrying it
neat.
around. So as you approach, he kind of looks and goes, "Oh, hello there. What brings you to Mr. Lowe's farm today?
Oh, morning,
Not in-
Terry.
How are you, Doc? How are you doing?"
Doing well. How's the farm going?
Oh,
Looks like
everything's
you got
good.
This place real nicely fixed up. Very nice.
Oh yeah, I had a little bit of a leak a week past, but Jean's doing all right, and the 8 kiddos are inside, just kind of having some downtime.
Wonderful.
8?
We're
Oh,
actually
you-
here to come talk to you about something.
Oh, what can I help you with?
I gesture to Silas to go ahead and talk.
Silas would not really sure how to put this to somebody without alarming them right off the bat. All right, this is how Silas will spin this, and we'll say that he was thinking this up on the way over. Just be like, well, I was trying to give the good doctor a little bit of a hand trying to figure out. There's been something going on. Somebody got branded, so we were trying to see if there was, this is a farm. Obviously, you probably brand your animals, as that goes. We wanted to see if there's anything that you could tell that would be perhaps stick out about some weird branding, or like if you've heard anything about like some odd brands popping up here and there.
Oh yeah. My family was cattle farmers, but we actually this year had to put them all down. There was something, they were all getting sick, and it was going through the herd, and the meat was going bad, and we just had to slaughter them all. Chuck here's the last one, and you see behind him just this big kind of like longhorn sort of looking thing behind him. So yeah.
Ain't that right?
He seems all right, but when he goes, if the meat's all right, he'll actually be turned into Chuck. So we actually name our cows for whatever cut they're going to get into. So he's a good Chuck cow. So that's Chuck right there.
Chris, if you were 2 seconds earlier on that, my entire screen would have just had water all over it.
Oh my god. Chuck, no.
Oh, jeez.
Terrible.
But yeah, if you look over here, and he'll gesture kind of to the brand, and it's Lowe's brand. We had a few cattle rustlers come by and actually steal about half the herd when I was about 15 or so. and they actually tried to cover up that brand with their brand, and that didn't go very well for them because they didn't know what they were doing. So yeah, we got the herd back. That was Paw and Papa's. But yeah, anyway, you said something about weird brands.
Yeah, weird ones like I don't know if anybody in the business would do brands that without not the traditional way of heated iron, something that I don't know, anything that would leave the skin looking, I don't know, just throwing some terms out there, withered perhaps, or
Withered. We do hot branding here, but I know somebody, guy's uncle, I think, did cold branding. Had got the metal super cold, and it apparently hurts a lot less than hot branding. I never tried it myself, but I don't have that sort of equipment. DM, would I know of something like this?
Magical branding.
I'm sorry. I'm just completely.
We're all just enthralled.
Oh my god.
Improv skills on point.
Yes. Oh my god.
I'm so happy to have you at this game, Chris.
I'm not the DM, but I get inspiration.
This is so good. Carry on.
I would say make a nature check.
Okay. All right. I'm not too bad at those. I'm pretty bad at those. That's a 10.
That is average. That's fine.
I
like it.
It's difficult to really make a call on this one because, I mean,
if branding's done right, it shouldn't wither.
Legs. You're used to dealing with things that walk on all fours.
We'll
you have to use your best judgment call on this one.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never heard of a branding that leaves you withered. If it should leave a pretty decent raised scar. You got an example of it somewheres, or like you got an animal that I can look at, or
Can I get a vibe check on Terry?
Can I
Not like I
roll
think that
and Terry, you can roll persuasion just to show that you're telling the truth.
Can I do insight on Terry?
Well, we're gonna leave this to silence.
Oh god.
My question here is, can I get advantage looking for with my gambler's background, trying to see if these got any sort of tells, maybe?
Sure.
Alrighty. Only with advantage.
You got an example?
That's a 14, DM.
That's a 15 on my end.
Well, I mean, Terry, are you on the level right now with him?
Gary just trying to figure out what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
You're being very, very, very vague.
Let me probe just a little bit more, and I'll tell you how I'm going to do it. Silas is going to just say, well, here, let me ask you this. I know that for the most part, let me look at my cheat sheet here. Yeah, that's what it would be. House Vidal's, they probably, I would assume that they brand their animals with like their house mark, or would they have, potentially their own, like maybe by family or by farm perhaps. But I was wondering if other houses potentially did any sort of, branding of any kind with their marks or anything. You heard anything along that?
DM, would I have heard anything along those lines?
I would say that with common knowledge of houses in terms of dragon marks and branding or anything like that, it is not something they go out of their way to do to others. And also the customs of this are very secretive, so it's not something anybody outside of a house would actually know.
Okay. Well, I can't say that I've heard of.
It's like asking a person who is what's that Mason, like they're asking them, hey, what's a ritual like there, and you've never met a Mason in your life, so it's like that's basically what he's asking you.
Well, I can't
What's
say
a Masonic temple like?
for for them what that looks like, but yeah.
All right. Well, here I do got an example that I can show you, but
Okay, perfect.
you know that I am working with the new sheriff on a few things, so I trust that you can believe me when I say that this is a matter of a sensitive nature. Do you got a little private spot that we can just kind of head to real quick?
Oh yeah, we can just go to the barn over there. Actually, Mr. Luckfoot, I need about 64 more board feet of pine if you got them. Just whenever you can. I'd appreciate a delivery of that to out here, just to finish up that new barn over there. But nobody's there right now. We're just kind of finishing up a few things.
Sounds good. I'll grab your personal information after this, and I'll get you your lumber delivered.
Thank you very much. Chuckle, be happy. He likes going to town.
So Silas would lead everybody over, he would follow Terry over to the barn, wait for doors to shut, kind of things like that. Just kind of look at him, just go, I did get a good vibe check off, and just be like, so what I'm about to show you may be a little bit not quite what you're used to, so just bear with me here, and I'm asking for any and all of your patience and compassion here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he kind of looks over at Doc like, what's going on, kind of, but willing to move forward.
Not wanting to show the whole thing, Silas would pull his duster off of his shoulder and then pull up some of the bandages so you could see a little bit of the branding.
Okay. Oh. Looks like you had a rougher time than my rutabaga patch last year. Ooh, that looks pretty mean right there. Looking at this DM, what would I need for that?
This looks, on first sight, this just looks like very intricate, very precise tattooing. But in like a very jet black, dark ink, almost as if like light is absorbing into it. That's how dark it is.
True black.
Has he seen anything like this?
No. I would say in your experience, no.
But it would look more like a tattoo than a brand to him.
Yes. Yeah.
But I can't say that I've ever seen anything like that. That's a new one for me. And that's saying something. I've seen quite a few things. Working with animals, you see a lot of things. Anyway. But
that really struggling to maintain composure.
That right there looks like more of a tattoo than a brand. Where'd you get
that? But this part, and he's like pointing to the edges where it looks, definitely deformed and stuff like that. He goes, it made me kind of think maybe it was Brandon or something like that. But then again, that still doesn't track, which is why I was asking about other methods of branding, because I was knocked out when this happened, and I feel like if somebody putting 1,000 degrees of iron to my skin, I would probably wake up.
Probably, yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
Well, beats me. I don't know where you got that, but whoever gave it to you kind of looks like they were using something infected.
That's the other thing. It apparently is not infected. We got
that's
got
good.
got the clean bill of health from Doc this morning.
Yeah, I took a
Very
look at it
nice.
this morning, and it says as uninfected as the day it first came in. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
You said that they did this to you while you were knocked out.
Knocked out is the term that I'm using. If I were to use a more scientific word, I would say effectively brain dead for about 8 to 12 hours.
Well, that's not very nice at all, is it?
I would do not recommend. 0 out of 10. No star.
Yeah. It's like getting a hog jowl stuck in your, whatever.
I love this guy.
This is a real stumper. This is a real stumper right there.
I mean, it was. I ain't gonna lie. It was a bit of a stretch trying to see if maybe you would perchance know something about it. But I mean, I appreciate you giving it a shot.
It seems like there's a lot of funky things going around out here ever since Sheriff Brass passed away. There.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yep.
What was that? Who's that to? Is that one of the sovereign hosts?
Oh my god.
Let's not get too deep into the woods and it's a whole other metagaming that I got to do.
No.
But Bill, come here. And he kind of takes you out of the barn and over to one of his fields, this tomato patch grove, whatever you want to call it.
Terry, while you're taking them out, though, can you give me a quick perception check?
Perception check. Oh,
Yes, please.
shoot! It's,
Tail got away.
18.
Oh, good. Well, that's great because you're immediately going to be able to notice that there is some sounds in the field right now of animals eating food that aren't supposed to be, and they're not ones that you raise. In fact, you know immediately because well, they look like this.
Oh dear.
Daggum Pisher's got in the craps again.
And with that, I would like everyone to roll initiative.
How can we roll
love
this
this
at a
cat.
time like this? What did you say?
As they
Damn it, they got
turn,
the goddamn
as
prize.
you see several of them turn to you and start to viciously growl with a bloodthirsty face. And when we come back from our brief little break, we will begin our combat.
Oh man.
So we will see you in just about 10 minutes, everybody. All right.
Oh my god.
Time to have some fun. And we are back, and it is time for us to begin our strange, Weird West encounter as 4 feral-looking claw feet, these essentially feathery velociraptors, prepare themselves and turn to you, looking oddly bloodthirsty. This is not something that is normally seen with these types of animals, especially in the wild. Terry, this is very, very concerning for you at this time. So we are going to get ourselves into position wherever you'd like. They are currently like just eating the hell out of your crops. There are 6 of them that you can see at this time. And yeah, we are going to go with at the top of our initiative is Holiday.
All right. Seeing these creatures. Real quick, because I don't really understand the wording of this feature. Infuse focus allows me to use infuse one spell into my focus. It doesn't require me to use any spell slots. Does that mean it also doesn't take an action, or does it take an action to use this?
No, it still takes an action. It just means that your spell will not use a spell slot.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, seeing
But
these
I believe
guys.
it's limited use, though.
Yeah, only 3 uses.
Yeah. Only 3 uses.
So, being that's the case, he hasn't had time to put up mage armor for the day, so he's feeling a little exposed. He's actually going to call. He's going to raise up his left hand with cigarette in hand, points at who's in my line of sight. Number 4, casting True Strike with his cantrip. He's got to be 30 feet within of my range. Is that 30 feet? Let's see. No, that is not. Definitely not.
No, it is not.
Okay. I'll tell you what. He's going to move up.
Minimum 55 feet away from anything.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move up to these boxes up ahead. Let's see. What's my range? My range is 30 feet. So cool. I can move pretty much wherever I need to go. Okay. Let's go. Let's get online with the house here. Right here. That should put me within range. Let's see. Still out of range. Holy hell. Tell you what. Instead of that, he's just going to whip out his wand slinger, point it out at the ground next to him here. How do I ping? Where's the ping? Right here. He's going to point his wand slinger here, and out the barrel of his wand slinger is 10 feet of rope that expels from the barrel and lands on the ground and instantly goes invisible as he casts Snare in front of him.
Okay. Very clever. All right.
With that's an action, right? That's Snare's a touch. 1 minute. Oh, it's a casting time of 1 minute. So, what does that mean?
It's going to basically be around before it can be used.
Oh, hell no! Wow! I just can't catch a break here. Okay.
It would be 10
Tell you what.
actually. Each round is 6 seconds.
Tell you what, we're just gonna, not make
So-
myself exposed here and cast fucking mage armor. So that's gonna beef up my
I was going to
armor class to 16.
say, just try and not hurt yourself.
That's my action. Bonus action. Let's see. Bonus actions. We have rabbit hop. We're gonna save my bonus action for now. That ends my turn.
Okay. All right. Well, then it means that this one in the far corner is going to be the most bold and will use its full movement. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet. Just to end up here, which will lead to Silas now.
All right. So Silas will use a little bit of movement, and we're going to get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 there, just to be sure. And Silas is going to draw his wand, point it. Let me get my pointer tool. He's going to center right here. And as he just says, let's light him up, he's going to cast Fairy Fire, which hits a 20-foot cube.
Okay.
He's going to use 2 of his sorcery points from his Metamagic feat to quicken spell it and cast it as a bonus action.
Ah.
Wow.
So that is going to mean that Claw feet number 1, 3, and 4 all have to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 15.
Hey. Okay, and I'm adding +2 to that, so they all make, well, the first one does. And we will see another one.
So 1 saves.
1 saves. 1 does not.
3 does not.
So, yeah. So we've got 1 saves, 4 does not, and 3 does not.
Okay, so let me see if I can do this. I'm just going to put a... what color really feels silent? Yeah, just to be safe, we're going to do a nice red ring around number 3 and 4. So anybody who is targeting claw feet number 3 and 4, you have advantage on your attack rolls. It also, let me double check here just in case it comes up.
Can't benefit from invisibility.
Yeah, can't benefit from being invisible, which I don't think that's going to happen, but who knows? Some funky things have been happening. They also shed dim light up to 10 feet. That being said, Silas will then use his action, and he will shoot a firebolt at clawfoot number 4.
Okay.
Let me get my numbers set here. There it is. So he has advantage on this shot. That is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Alrighty. So now that I have the fancy dancy arcane firearm feature from being level 5, this is 2d10 plus 1d8 plus 1 fire damage.
Oh my god.
That is a 12, 13 points of fire damage.
All right.
As Silas points and this expulsion of this mote of flame flies out and impacts this claw feet right at the base of the throat.
And which one did you hit?
Number 4.
Number 4. Good to know. Okay. All right. So then you will see this one is going all the way here. Number 2 is going to charge and use its movement to get all the way to here. And now it is Terry's turn.
All right.
I've never been more excited for another person's turn.
Let's see. Terry's gonna yell, "Get the children in the house!" Grab his hoe, grab it, look at Chuck, and go, "Let's go get him, boys!" And just start running in.
Oh boy.
Let's see. It's got 30.
Terry is the hero we didn't know we deserved.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get him right there. And Chuck is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. That is gonna be my turn, unless I want to play it risky and use my action to dash. Yeah, screw it. Probably in that space, not the wagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's it.
All right. At this point, one moment, I have to do some measuring real quick. Okay. So number 3 is going to move all the way up to you, Silas, and make its first first of 3 multi attacks. Okay. First off, you're going to be adding 4 to this bite attack. So that is 13 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. I'm going to go for the first of 2 claw attacks. So that would make it a 14.
Does not hit.
And the nat 20 for the next one.
Silvery barbs.
Oh! You're using a reaction.
Oh.
Yep. Using my reaction to cast silvery barbs. He has to reroll that d20.
Thank you, sir.
Wow.
That's good. Nice.
Holiday and Silas at it again, baby.
So, the third one was a 16 plus 4, so it becomes an unnatural 20.
I will use my reaction
Yeah.
to cast shield. So that is a miss.
Oh shit!
So bite comes down. Silas backsteps. First claw kind of glints right off of his breastplate that is under his duster, and then that third one looks like it's coming right down. Holiday puts his wand out, and in that last moment, Silas is able to bring his wand up and arcane barrier between him and the clawfoot.
Oh my god.
Woo! That shit got hairy for a second.
Oh boy. That's interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
This is what Silas and Holiday do.
So as
You
he
use your
casts the silvery barb,
Oh.
he whips his wand over to Silas, giving him advantage on his next attack roll, or ability check or saving throw for the next minute.
yeah, I know.
Shut up.
Doc.
All right. So Doc is gonna see what's going down, and for the terrain here, am I able to there's bushes in between me and then who's over here? Between me and Terry and them. Am I able to stand in the bushes?
Oh, that's this. This
That's
is
grass.
Oh, okay. Doc's gonna see this and you're gonna see him reach into his waistcoat pocket, in here, and he's gonna go, "This is the perfect opportunity to show you something I've been working on." And Doc is gonna apparently grow 15 feet. Okay, sorry. He's gonna move right in the middle,
15.
and he's going and you see him take out 3 syringes, and he's gonna throw them like ninja style, and they're gonna poke all of you in the back, and you're all blessed now.
Yes! Yes! Oh, I'm so happy. That is the best.
He's just gonna throw them.
I've ever seen. I may have just woken up my daughter. Hang on, let me check out.
And then, jog my memory. So that was my action. For my bonus action, can I cast an attack with my spiritual weapon? I'm a little bit rusty.
I need to double check that because that always happens to me. I'm still blown away by the use of bless.
With needles and all that.
You thought I went out last night. This is what
I don't like needles, dear.
It's like like this like strange greenish liquid. I don't know what it does. It makes you feel strong.
Oh, that actually
Oh my
feels pretty
God.
good there.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
the thing is, spiritual weapon, being that it is a spell, and you used bless already, you can't do a second spell as
That is a
you
good
use
call.
the first spell as your action.
Uh-huh. Let's see. That might be my turn then. Doc's just gonna run in the middle of the grass. Throw these sharp
Needles!
objects out. Needle.
Silas
He's
is gonna
go.
Doc,
I
warning
sure
next
hope they
time.
work. I haven't tested them on anybody except for myself.
Oh God.
Give me a warning next time before you stick me in the back with a needle.
They're in the hay bales. We gotta get these some bitches out of here.
I have never seen a spell be turned into like a device. Like somehow it's like you made like holy syringes. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're holy syringes. I just threw them out. God
Insane.
knows what's actually in them.
Can you just take
just
a point
wait
of
for-
inspiration for that idea alone too? Because
Yes.
I'm so happy at how that worked.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just wait until they get the cleric spell Flame Strike, and then it's the Holy Hand Grenade.
Good Christ, that was just insane.
Don't give me ideas.
Oh
Oh
my God.
my! Oh my!
Perfect.
Ew.
That was hilarious.
God, I'm blown. Yeah, that ruled.
Thank you.
All right, so Angry Dino number 4 is going to charge straight at you, Doc.
Uh-oh.
I ain't got none for you.
and
Leave me alone.
and they're gonna go for their attacks. So let's see how this works.
I'd like to see you try.
First for the bite. That's a nat 1, so no. Now for the claw. So 16.
That hits. He
Okay,
tried and he succeeded.
Miss for the second claw. So you're going to take 4 points. You're taking 6 points of slashing damage, just from that one claw that was able to get on you. You see, like this incredible, it is a truly feral face, foaming at the mouth, just like its claws are fresh with blood from some kill earlier.
Holiday, I know creatures that should be taking whatever hell juice you made in there. That would really knock them off their feet right now. Holy shit.
Oh, keep that in mind, Doc.
And that will be their turn. Okay. One moment. I'm just still amazed at how freaking cool that was. Okay.
Doc's over here being a needle ninja. Holiday and Silas are over here just pulling army of 2 stunts with their spells and gun.
Terry's
Yeah. So
I heard you, man.
Yeah!
Get out of my
Get your
way.
damn claw feet out of my bag.
Breathe.
no, Terry, you avoid a bite, but does a 13 hit you for a claw?
Does not. Armor class 14.
Okay. You missed the second claw attack. But an 18 plus 4, I believe, will hit you. So you will take 6 slashing damage as well.
All right.
I like how you emphasized 6 damage on
6.
all the shit
6
that
whole
we
points.
expended just to avoid Silas taking a hit.
Anything for you, buddy? 4.
I fucking love it.
I love D&D so much.
Get to have these cool moments.
I miss D&D so much. Holy cow. Let's go.
All we're missing is a back-to-back moment with Silas and Holiday. Oh, we
Oh,
might just
wait.
get it.
Top.
We might just get it.
Did you see that? Did you
Okay.
see that?
Back to the top. Holiday. You give me a perception check real quick.
Got you. 9.
Oh,
9.
I will tell you that what you don't notice is the sound of a another clawfoot that seems to have come from the back of the barn, but you don't notice that.
Gotcha. Keep that in mind. All right.
you don't know.
So I'm still
don't
focused
remember
on 3 right now.
I told you.
Oh god.
Now that I am armored up and feeling safe in my magic, time to get thematic with it. You see him flourish his wand as he raises it to Claw Raptor 3 and uses his arcane infused focused wand to cast Ice Blade or Ice Knife without having to use a spell slot. It's going to be a +8 to hit. It's going to be a 16 to hit.
Okay.
Oh,
That hits.
I've messed up.
Wait, what did you mess
See
up?
if this. It's gonna explode, and we're in range of that explosion.
Well, we all have to learn.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, I'm not.
okay,
Never mind.
now.
It's only 5 feet. Only Silas is in range.
That's fine. That's
Wait,
fine.
Wait, he has
I'm
advantage.
blessed.
He has advantage. We're good.
I have advantage?
Yeah, because I gave you the.
No,
Silvery
only-
barbs
okay, that's
advantage.
right. So I have silvery barbs. I also have bless. So bring it on. Bring it on.
So basically, you saved him from your own stupidity. Okay.
Yes, this was the plan the whole time.
I got excited. I've been wanting to use this feature for so long.
Well, I knew I
was
was
like,
going
what
to
are
do
you
something
doing?
stupid,
Stop.
but had to make sure that
So-
it wasn't something so stupid that I'd kill myself. Just my friends.
So this you see this blade of ice shoot out the barrel as it hits and lands for 6 points of freezing damage, ice damage.
Ooh.
Everybody within 5 feet of it needs to make a dexterity saving throw of 16.
So that would be Silas and number 3.
And on a failed save, they take 2d6 worth of extra cold damage.
Okay, they
As it
will
explodes
take.
in their face.
They will take
What was
that
the DC?
damage.
16.
I just hit 16. I rolled it with advantage. I had 10 plus 4 from bless, and then I have a +2 dexterity.
Woo! Lucky you. Succeed on a saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage. So you're good. You don't take any damage. It doesn't say half or anything. It just says it must succeed or take a 2d6. So
Yes.
only the raptor, thankfully, only takes 9 additional cold damage as this blade explodes from their shoulder and sends shards of razor ice through his flesh. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So cool.
Oh shit! I love it. That was a cool
Oh,
spell.
Lord.
I just need to use it on people on a group of enemies this time. That was
Alright.
my action, bonus action. We're good. We're gonna hold steady.
Okay.
Let me move up 5 feet though, past him. 10 feet and get on the other side of Silas.
Okay. All right. So, raptor number 1. They look like goat tokens. That's why I kept thinking.
Cool.
Is going to show up right next to Silas now, flanking it with number 3.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And we are going to see if these attacks go through.
Oh my god. We're all here. The whole gang's here. Oh boy.
So 15 for the bite.
Yes.
Miss. Okay. And that's a miss for then the first claw attack. And 19 for the second claw attack. So
I
it's
don't have
funny.
time
These
to
whole
answer
things
that.
have been 2 out of 3, or 1 out of 3 every time. So you'll take 6 slashing damage from the claw.
6 slashing damage. Copy that.
Okay. Silas, it is your turn.
All right. Holding where I am because I don't really have a choice. Actually, I can do this.
Oh.
We're gonna get real action movie. Where's the owl bear?
Uh-oh.
Silas is going to. Yeah, Silas is going to James Bond roll between the two of them
Ooh.
up onto these crates here. And since I
That
did
does
not
mean
actually leave,
the first one's going to take an attack of opportunity, though.
I didn't leave their reach.
Oh, that's true.
Ah.
You're just,
This is why the
you
James
sneaky-
Bond roll is
sneaky
important,
boy.
because now I am in a good enough spot that I can use my action to cast Thunderwave,
Oh.
Oh boy.
which I am going to upcast for the hell of it at 2nd level. And so let me just double check the range. It is a 15-foot cube centered on me. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, that means that no, you're good. That means that
Oh,
yeah, 15-foot cube with me as the center. So it's going to be just number 1 and number 3 need to make Constitution saving throws, DC 15. And I'm gonna start rolling some d8s.
All right. So 4. So basically, number 1, 3, and 4 have to make the save.
50. No. So it's basically like if it's a set of 9 squares and Silas is the center.
Oh, so
That's a
1 and
15
3.
foot.
Okay, only 1 and 3. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 3 does not make the save.
3 does not. 1 passes.
Yes.
Okay, so that being said, number 3 takes 16 points of thunder damage, and number 1
Okay.
takes 8 points of thunder damage. Number 3 also gets pushed 10 feet away from me.
Number 3 is going to be smashed directly into this wall of the barn of Terry. There will be some cosmetic damage on the wall, mostly of the blood of the animal as it just explodes onto the side of the wall, painting it. Meaning that one is a gone.
Ah, shit. Terry, I can fix that.
Barn needs repainted anyway. Don't worry about it.
Might I suggest red?
You're doing a good job so far.
Look at this whole building painted
Did
red.
not mean to do that.
That being said, so 10 feet. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is going to be Silas.
Okay. There is a clawfoot looking directly at Chuck, and it is going to charge
No!
right at it.
No!
It will do its first attacks.
Oh, Chuck!
That is an unnatural 20 for the bite. And 1 claw attack with a 19.
No!
I'm assuming is going to hit Chuck.
Yeah. His armor class is 13.
All right, that'll be a total of 12 points of damage, half of which is piercing, the other half is slashing.
Oh, Chuck. No,
All right.
Chuck.
Can you also have Chuck do a Constitution save for me?
Yeah. 13.
13. Okay. It is also going to take an additional 5 points of poison damage.
Oh,
Chuck!
All right. Chuck's looking pretty hurt.
Chuck! No. Oh, God.
When you see the this feral creature bite right into like the cap of Chuck, you do see there's like this purplish like it almost like injects itself into the veins. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say poison. I meant to say necrotic. Yeah, and it almost looks like a piece of Chuck's body is like kind of withering at this point, as like the color and lifelessness leaves from that section where they where the beast has been bitten.
that's not good.
Okay, that'll be that's turn. Terry, now you will be able to follow up. As will Chuck.
Okay. So that changes up what I was going to do. Yep. So Terry's going to move right over here to this one and swing his farm utensil
Okay,
at number 2.
swing away, Terry. Swing away.
Is a 13 plus 6, 19.
Lit.
Okay, and that is a 1d6 plus 4.
These are nasty buggers. They're easy to hit, but they pack a punch.
6 points of damage to that one
Right.
that bit his Chuck.
What is Terry's weapon of choice in terms of
What?
farm? In terms of farm utilities?
It's a hoe. Yeah, it's a hoe. He's swinging his hoe. Swing that hoe.
Okay.
Yep.
The
2 prongs on one side and a shovel,
our
shovel on
players
the
do
other.
not select
Harry
the-
is mad.
Yeah. So please write all your letters to the screen names you see on the bottom. Not me. Don't blame me. I don't. I take no responsibility. All right. Anything else? Before
Chuck's. Yeah, Chuck's. Yeah, Chuck needs his.
Since you're flanking it now, Chuck can have advantage on it.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, he's just gonna stop. Natural 20. I do not kid you. Natural.
Oh
20
yeah.
He's angry.
He's angry.
No, upset the chakras.
That's a 26 to hit. Let's see.
What kind of Chuck today?
It's a 2d4 plus 3 stomping damage, bludgeoning damage. That is a 3 and a 4 plus 3. So how do you want to do crits?
I double damage.
Okay, so 3 and 4, that's 7. So double that, right? And then add your modifier.
Mhm.
So it'd be 17 points of damage from Chuck stomping on this this clawfoot.
Just this huge
And
hook smack
that will be their
down
turn.
on the feral raptor.
Chuck will live.
Or if you'd like the more scientific classification, the Deinonychus descendant of the raptor. All right. That means that number 5 is now going to take its attack on you, Terry.
Uh-oh.
Bring it on.
Oh yeah.
You leave my son alone.
First attack is a 17 plus 4. Followed by a 14.
That's my armor class right there, yep.
Okay. Followed by another 14. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one you are going. So you're going to take. You're going to take 18 points total damage. I need a con save for the bite.
Okay. I'm going to use 2 of my grit dice and
Okay.
reduce that damage by that much. So that is
Wow,
a 2 and a 3, so 5 minus 5. So only 13 points of damage, correct?
Yes, right now, yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
then
we are using a
con
special
save.
homebrew class called the Commoner, which was created by user Laser Llama
Ooh.
on GM Binder. So if you want to check that out, look up the Commoner class by Laser Llama on GM Binder. So
That's cool.
all right.
And you said con save,
Yeah,
right?
we need to do the con save, yeah.
That is a
DC 15.
17 plus 7, because I
Ooh, very
got saving
nice.
throws,
Okay.
proficient with saving throws and con. So, yeah, that's a
I'm
20
going to take
something or other. 27. Yeah, 24.
okay, so you only take half, so that's 1 point of necrotic damage.
Sweet. Oof.
You do notice though, like just that unnerving feeling of like numbness and just like it's taken almost like a piece of you, rather than just almost trying to look. It's beyond just trying to eat you. It's like something deeper has happened.
Yeah. I don't like that there.
Oh, don't like that. No, not at all. All right. This little sucker over here is going to show up to you, Silas. Boing. Coming from around the corner, and is going to attack you as well now. So let's get dangerous. First one is 13.
Miss.
So you are missed the bite, but a natural 20 on the claw attack for the first
Silvery
one.
barbs.
Okay. Then it is now a 16.
I will cast shield. So now my AC is 21.
Yes.
Okay. Now it is a 17. So once again, I have been
Still a miss because shield.
screwed.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
This combo together.
Damn.
Holiday, who's getting advantage?
That is.
Oh, you know it.
That's
Going
a
right
bunch
back
of
to you, buddy.
bullshit. Okay. Well, the only thing that this one can do is just get that much closer to trying to hurt you, Holiday. But we go back to the top of the round with Holiday.
All right.
With
With my
Majesty Lord
passive.
DM, since I James Bond rolled and turned around to cast Thunderwave, would it be safe to say that I can see Clawfoot number 7?
Yes.
So then Silas will call out, "Everybody on your 6!"
Oh god.
All right. Good. Okay.
Wait, I don't think. Did I go? Hold on.
No, I
No.
apologize. I did not get to you, Doc. So
Oh
we're going
my
to retroactively go back
How
to
dare
you
you.
and then
No,
go to
no, no.
Holiday.
Sounds good. Okay, so.
I apologize.
No worries. Let's see. Where is everybody?
I got so caught up in the Terry drama.
I can't. I don't use my shield. You're joking. All right.
And then our reaction flurries over here.
Well, all
Let's
of your
see.
stuff already happened. This is just going back to
Doc is gonna first, for his bonus action, he's going to see that Chuck is getting mauled, but still holding his own. He's going, "Oh no, you don't! You stay away from Chuck! You ain't gonna make Chuck out of Chuck!" And he's gonna cast Spiritual Weapon. You're gonna see this like phantom like wind whoosh up from the ground, and it's gonna materialize into a giant pair of calipers. That's gonna start trying to.
Oh my god.
That's gonna. Can I attack using Spiritual Weapon on my bonus action?
So for spiritual weapon, the bonus you create the spectral weapon as the action. The bonus action on your turn, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet and repeat the attack, which means that you've already on your action. It's cast, placed, and attacks. Bonus action
Gotcha.
means you can move it to attack. Move it and
Got
repeat
it.
the attack.
Then for my
If you
action,
need to.
you see a giant
So-
pair of calipers.
Love this.
If
Attack.
I may, Michael,
Yes.
it does
Yeah.
say in the spell description for spiritual weapon that it is a cast time of a bonus action,
Spell.
and then when you summon it,
okay.
and then turns following, it gets an attack in that same bonus action.
Well, because I screwed up the initiative, I'm going to let this particular moment slide as a means of just making,
Okay.
because I know
So-
that they've been meaning to cast this spell.
So bonus action, cast and attack using spiritual weapon.
and on
okay.
the following
Right.
turns, it's just repeating your bonus action.
Okay,
Because
it's going to
Rayaks
go
are
to
awesome.
number 5, and it's going to just. You see, there's blades on the end of the scalper, which don't belong on the end of calipers, but it's
No, they
mine,
don't.
and it's going to just try to go right between the ears of this thing.
Oh God.
So I'm going to
no.
go ahead and roll for that.
Oh
Oh
no!
god.
Oh no!
Mhm. Arnar. Hold on. Give me a second.
You love to
Alright.
see it.
15 plus 8. 23.
Yes.
That's 5 plus 5. 10. Is that force damage? What is that?
Force damage. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll that. I already rolled it, but yeah. Okay, so 10 total damage for my bonus action. And then for my action, I'm going to take out the bone saw that I apparently hide in my ass, and I'm going to attack the one right in front of me. And I'm gonna go. Now it's your turn, you son of a bitch. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll the hit. My crossbow. Ooh, 11 plus 7, 18. Okay, and then
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just looking for my dice. 8 damage total, slashing.
Listen, that one's gone.
Okay.
That was
Yeah, Doc,
just straight up dead.
he had nothing in his hands, and then he pulls it's like a video game inventory where he just pulls out this big bone saw, and he wields it with both hands, and he swipes right across, and he unhinges the jaw of this thing, like, right to the back of its spine, and the whole front of its head slides off, and Doc is covered in
Gross.
blood. Yum.
Mm-hmm,
Gross.
That's my turn.
Okay. So we will revert then back to Holiday.
All right. Now, hearing the call out of being flanked. Let's see. He is going to do. I want to do either Crown of Madness or another.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. He flurries his wand again as usual, doing that that holiday thing. Casts Crown of Madness at Velociraptor 1. He needs to succeed a Wisdom saving throw of 16. As a crown of spindly thorns descend upon his cranium.
That is a. What saving throw did you say?
16.
Well, what kind?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Oh, okay. I just needed to make sure what modifier. So that was a 15. So that's not.
Woo-wee! Yee-hoo! All right, buddy, you're going to do me a little favor and go over yonder to 7 and keep him occupied.
Oh no.
And then that will end my turn, because that takes an action. I don't have any bonus actions. Cool.
So you moved 6 away from Silas to get to 7.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, they are charmed. And as this twisted crown of jagged iron appears on the head, the madness further glows in the eyes of this dinosaur. All right.
Holiday just looks over at Silas. I got you back, homie. He doesn't say homie.
All right. Well, number 1 is going to try and attack Silas now. Let's see.
Good luck. Got two
That is a
very rabid
17.
individuals.
17 for the bite.
I'm still under the effect of shield, so no.
Okay. I might even try.
Take it.
Try harder, Michael.
Nat 20 for the claw.
My God.
20, 2-0?
Yes, nat 20 for the first
That-
claw.
Oh,
And
nat 20? Darn.
4 for the second one. So 1 claw hit. Yeah. So
I've
you will
already
take
used
6.
my reaction.
Yeah, you're going to take 6 from the claw attack there.
6. I'll do that.
Silas, though, it is your turn.
Back to my turn. Hey, I got my reaction back. Good to know. All right. So this is the only one that I got in front of me here. And the ones that I had fairy fired are gone. So, what options do I have? I really don't want to do that. What is it going to be? Let me look at the map again. Oof, we're just really not in a good spot. Let me double check the verbiage on shield. Oh, okay, so shield is effectively gone. However, I'm still going to try to do this because mechanics dictate that I must. Silas is going to try to take a 5-foot step back.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Wow.
That will incur an attack of opportunity from Raptor number 1.
Mm-hmm. And it will... Let's see. It's a 15.
15 does not hit. So I took a gamble and it paid off. Now that I am more than 5 feet away, Silas is going to aim his wand straight down and he is going to firebolt this motherfucker in the face.
Which one?
The number 1.
Okay. Number 1.
I don't have advantage for... Oh, wait. Do I have silvery barbs?
From the previous one, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Because he had done
So
it
then I do have
already.
advantage.
Because, you know, Tarzan wants to
Yeah,
be punished
buddy.
later.
That's the, what was that? I'm sorry.
Oh.
What?
What? Huh?
He's gonna-
That is...
Oh.
I don't know. People saying stuff. What's going on?
You're...
All right, fine. We'll just let that slide. That is a 27 to hit.
What do you think?
Oh.
I will roll the damages. We rolled really good. That is 21 points of fire damage
Oh,
from
you
a firebolt.
Holy cow.
destroy this thing. Goodbye, Irene.
And that being said, let me check some distance because I still have some things that I can do if I can make it over to where I want to be.
You all see just like
Perfect.
basically the like fire set up, but there's something extra in this particular firebolt that feels almost out of element of someone like Silas, as the dragon mark on his arm almost influences the flames that
Oh, shit.
escape from his wand as he destroys the one raptor.
Oh, damn.
So I did just move Silas, and at this point, it probably on the backswing of one of Terry's goes, he is going to reach up, and he's just going to say, "Get him, Terry!" And he's going to smack the hoe in his hand, and I'm going to bonus action cast Magic Weapon.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. What does
God.
that do?
Your
Magic
hoe
weapon!
is now a magical hoe, and your hoe has a +1 to attack and damage rolls.
This is why someone clip that. Because
Got
there's
yourself a
not
magical hoe.
many times that you get to hear in a D&D game You now have a magic hoe.
This is why we play this game.
That hoe
This
is
is why we
now
play
magic.
this game.
I love this game.
Oh,
Love this
man.
game.
Love this game. It's only moments like these, folks.
Amazing.
All right.
So happy.
So that is going to finish me off.
Okay.
Whoa.
I'm sure it will. Okay.
Oh.
That leaves number 2 is going to attack Chuck again. So let's see.
Uh-oh.
That is an unnatural 20 for the bite.
Yep.
With a 16 for the first claw. And the 17 plus 4 for the second claw. Which will be 18 points total again. And I need another con save for Chuck.
Okay, 18, another con save. That is a 12.
Okay, they don't save, so they're going to take another an additional 7 points on top of the 12, the 18 for damage. And Chuck is not looking good, I'm assuming.
Chuck is going down with that bite.
Oh no.
Mhm.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
You leave Chuck alone.
Does Chuck get
Terry.
death saving throws?
He does. He does get death saving throws.
Fucking
Yep.
better.
Oh God,
I'm
no,
going to
Chuck.
something interesting happens in this moment. As Chuck's life leaves his eyes, but they glaze over into this blood red form as it kind of like snaps its bones in its now slightly undead form as it looks at you, Terry, because it is now an enemy.
Oh shit.
Chuck.
Is going to attack you as it's now.
What the?
Evil Chuck. Oh.
Or it will attack you on its turn, I should say. But Terry, it is your turn now. So
Okay.
you have a choice. Do you attack the raptor that has seemed to have done something terrible to your companion, or do you strike before Chuck can attack you first?
No.
Okay.
This move I like all the old yeller.
The old switcheroo. Yeah. So Terry, after feeling Silas tap his farm implement, tap his hoe, will kind of take a look at it and go, "Oh, Beverly, you never look so good," and swing at the number 2 raptor as hard as he freaking can. And that is going to be... Oh, we're still... Bless is still up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, that's... 15, that's dirty 20.
That'll hit.
All right. And that is a 1d6 plus 4. And that is a 5 plus 4. So 9 points of damage.
Plus 1 for magic weapon?
Plus 1 for magic weapon. That's 10. Yeah.
We got you into double digits.
Nice. And then he's going to look at Chuck and say, "Chuck, you know me."
No.
And that's his whole turn. And
Make
it's
a
Chuck's turn.
persuasion roll.
That's 13 plus 4, 17.
Can you add bless to that, or is that
You
Plus,
It's not a
you do
saving
see
throw.
that there is
Oh.
like some shred of connection barely still behind the eyes of Chuck, but
Mm.
there is just something unrecognizable that is masking all of it.
Okay.
All right. So Doc, it is your turn.
Does Chuck attack because he goes on my turn?
Chuck does not in this moment.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Due to what you were
I
able to
did.
get with that persuasion.
Okay. So Doc is going to whisper under his breath, "Give him hell, Betsy." He's gonna have his spiritual weapon attack number 5 again. So let me go ahead and roll for
Okay.
that. And what did you say about your house rules with spiritual weapon? Can I move and
Oh no, that was
attack
just
on
me
bonus
making
action?
up for the fact that I had accidentally skipped your initiative. So
So,
we're back
so
under
the
its
actual
regular
attack
rules.
will be my action. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. That's a 10, but I have inspiration.
All right,
Please. Nice. 15 plus 8.
that'll
That
do
will
it.
be 9 damage.
9 damage. All right.
Sleep, go to sleep.
You see, I'm clicking the wrong screen. I'm clicking the screen on the screen, which is showing the screen. There's so many screens.
So many.
Yeah. And that was to number
Or 5.
5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you watch as these. Describe how these creatures.
So
attack.
it's this like absolutely nightmarish looking set of calipers that are sharp on the end. They're going, "Gah, gah, gah," and they just start trying to chew up this dinosaur. Like
And-
it's just
Yeah, that.
like
that's
a
essentially what
Venus
happens.
flytrap. It's just over and over and over again, tearing at it.
Oh, and it does. It does so well as it's gone.
There's just oh, God.
Actually, Doc, can you give me a perception check? Actually, for that.
Perception check. Absolutely.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, you watched that one go down. You're like, wait, that shouldn't have been as effective as it did. And
Wow,
you turn
that's-
and you can hear the noises of the two other raptors near Holiday as they start to just kind of convulse, and blood is pouring from the both of their mouths, as is from the second one and Chuck's mouths. And you watch as they all 4 of these creatures fall one by one, just becoming bloated and almost like decaying at an accelerated time into just carcasses that become like carrion, and at this point it wouldn't even be worthy of being eaten by a vulture. And
I thought
that's
they were about to turn into meat bombs.
no.
It's gonna explode and we're in range. What
No, I
the
need
hell?
to fix. I need to fix me.
What the hell?
So, yeah, you watch as all of them just one by one just become destroyed.
Ooh.
And one moment, folks. I just got a small tech thing that I gotta take care of.
Is there any chance I could cast Revivify on Chuck?
That was something I was going to ask, because I can expend a
diamond?
good die.
Or you have that amount of one moment.
Okay.
Let me fix it.
I don't have a diamond. Well, I mean, do I have a diamond? I'm not married to anybody. I can't use like my wedding band or anything. Oh boy.
So, as that happens, you just see them all become one by one just gone. And it's at this point that you also hear the the wind start to pick up, and the sunlight becomes diminished as clouds form a bit faster overhead. And it's only the afternoon, but it's suddenly getting darker quicker. The sky takes on this purplish hue of storm clouds. And Terry, you know from experience with pressure in the air, you can feel it. Like, despite the fact that what just occurred, having occurred, the feeling of a impending storm is very clear to you right now.
You're gonna see Terry basically have his hand pulled halfway out of a satchel that he carries, and there's like a piece of vegetable in it, and seeing the decaying carcasses, he's gonna just slide it back in to his little satchel.
Well, looks like you should probably get inside there. Mrs. can have some coffee and cakes there, if you like. But looks like there's a storm coming.
I think I'll stay out here a little longer and take a look at these bodies here. Gotta get to the bottom of this. I ain't never seen nothing like that. This town's going to hell. I don't know what's going on. I'll be inside shortly though. I just gotta take a look at these first.
As Terry kind of like passes you on the way to the house, he'll kind of like whisper over to you, or just say it over to you as he's passing by, just in passing.
Probably that there mine. All problems came out over here when that mine moved in. Didn't have nothing till they were there, and then they come in and got to put down cattle, and crops are failing, water's poisoned.
And he just keeps walking.
I'll remember that. Okay.
As the rain starts to fall heavily, Doc, as the others are following Terry inside, give me a quick medicine check.
Here's my medicine. 21.
These animals, you see you've seen when creatures go feral from some sort of like rabies type effectiveness, or just a sun madness. It's not completely uncommon, but it is rare for it to happen in large numbers, let alone be it communicable through such a rapid means. And the blood pouring out of the bodies is certainly something you've never really seen happen in any kind of animal before. But it's very, very disturbing. And the blood of these animals is only being washed away now because of the rain that is just pouring down into the field.
Could I really quickly try to collect some of this blood before it all washes away?
It's going to be really hard because there's just no means of being able to collect anything. It's
I have the syringes that I threw at everybody.
Yeah, I can think you try when you inject and just to pull from it. There is some viscosity to it that just feels more like tar than it looks like blood. But you are able to pull some from there, so you can hold on to a vial of mystery blood, if you will.
Okay.
As your inventory.
Go do that.
As you join everyone back into the barn, Terry, you do remember that your family actually has been out for a bit, yet to have returned from their own shores, and they had gone west of town to resupply with some other trades. This a thing that farms usually end up doing when there are needs for resuppliers. And something that you have noticed over the past couple of years is that those trips have had to become more frequent because of the fact that there's been like a diminishing of returns in terms of others being able to supply the town. And you have that feeling that it just feels like it's been coinciding with once the mines just got more booming in business. And the rain is hitting hard on the roof. And thunder is starting to rumble in. What is everybody feeling around this time? We'll start with Silas.
Well, he's definitely a little bit more concerned, in particular, about Eleanor Vitae and the Kyber Dragon Shard mines. Just by hearing Terry say that, hey, nothing at all was happening, and then second that they move in, now we gotta put down cattle, we got all this going on, we're getting attacked by these things. He's definitely off-put by the whatever is going on with these animals. And he's just kind of taking it all in at this point and wondering where his puzzle piece fits into the bigger picture.
How about you, Holiday?
Holiday would be mulling over the similarities to how this Crown of Madness spell worked in comparison to how these animals behaved, and trying to pull from his research and spells, trying to figure out whether or not there's any similarities to a certain charm spell that would cause these animals to behave in a similar manner to the Crown of Madness.
Give me an Arcana check.
It's going to be an unnasty 20.
Yeah, it doesn't add up to you right now. You've never seen creatures so bloodthirsty before. You've seen your fair share of clawfeet in the desert. You live long enough by the Endworld Mountains and to the east of the Talenta Plains that you're going to see them. It's just what happens. The jungles of Kabara to the east, the further you go in, the more you're likely to see them. Being in the middle of an area, it's not an uncommon animal, but nothing so truly bloodthirsty as this.
Is it? All right. He's just running through that thought process through his mind as he's trying to come to a conclusion.
Doc, how are you feeling?
The words that Terry kind of said, whether it was offhandedly or not, are like a worm in Doc's head. He can't stop thinking about how it is really weird that ever since the mine has opened, even though it's brought in a lot of work and, it's bringing wealth to the town, it's also, he's seen an uptake in patients. He's noticed how people kind of whisper and how they're scared. And now he hears about Terry and how he has to put down his animals. And now he's seen what is seeping out of these creatures that should have been fine, but there was something wrong with them. He's kind of in his pocket. He's kind of fiddling with the vial of blood that he has, if he can even call it that. And all he can think to himself is, I gotta get back to the office so I can look at this shit under a microscope or something. And then I'm going back to that mine and I'm figuring out what's going on. And that's the only thing on his mind, is getting back so he can analyze what he just collected.
Terry, you've just witnessed one of your prized livestock be transformed into something unrecognizable, and one or two claw feet invading a farm is a surprise. 7 looking feral is unheard of and impossible. What's going through Terry's mind?
Terry is busying himself. He's put down Beverly and picked up a pitchfork and is just moving hay mindlessly around the barn, processing. Moves over to one corner of the barn and goes, This was Chuck's favorite corner over here. Well, looks like there's room for goats now. Chuck was supposed to carry us through the winter if anything like this happened, but looks like good old Chuck's not worth chucking.
Oh my god.
Terry, you're doing this kind of reflective work. You do hear a knock at the front of the barn as a passing by hooded figure is looking for shelter. KJ, can you describe what they see?
Let me pull up the picture so I can give myself a refresher.
Hello there.
You see this female-presenting halfling woman. Dreaded hair, similar to those who have seen Pambo. Similar hairstyle to how his is. This decorative silver chain sitting where a diadem would across their face. Some jewelry hanging off just the sides of their face. Lots of just accessories and jewelries and multiple layers of clothing. They have some facial markings down the side of their face that look to be somewhat tribal. They just look kind of musty. They look like they've been traveling for a while. And just with this kind voice, you wouldn't happen to have some shelter that I could stay in?
Oh, yeah, sure. Come in. It's raining. All sorts of stuff out there. Come on.
Nice.
Hello.
And Bellatrix, you enter into this barn. Now, I will say, what you observed on the way in, coming into town, was a sudden storm that certainly did not feel like it was just on its way overhead.
She would have kind of taken it in, but with a lot of the things she's experienced, especially with what she works in, not exactly surprised, but curious about it. Just kind of takes note of it and would have kept walking to find shelter.
And shelter you do find, as you see 4 individuals, all essentially keeping dry and as best they can while the rain pounds the roof overhead and thunder rumbling not too far.
She just kind of looks up and around at all of you. Just kind of curiosity, new people she's never seen before. My name is Bellatrix. I am not from around here, but passing through. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, miss.
Silas
My
tips
name
his
is-
hat.
Holiday Buckfoot. If you need work, just come see me at the lumberyard.
I have plenty of work I do on my own, but it is appreciated.
Dear Low here. This is my farm. You're more than welcome to stay here. I've got a few extra places you can stay in the house if you don't mind. About eight small ones running around, but you're more than welcome to stay here if you need it. Town's not too far away, but yeah, where you coming from?
I have to look it up because I don't have it pulled up currently. I have information for this.
That's okay. Silas,
You're a liar. I shoot
seem
him.
like you want to roll for something. I will say, Silas, can you give me a perception check
Absolutely. Okay.
as the thunder catches your attention?
That's actually pretty good. 17.
You catch out in the lightning flashing in the sky outside by the skylight of the roof of the barn. The two moons that circle Eberron, they're never as clear as they've been right now. And it's disturbing in this moment. It's there's multitude of moons, but to see two of them see two of the 12 so prominent. This one, you've done your study of nature enough. When a storm shows up, people say, oh, that's the work of Zarentir, the storm moon. And that is the time when, there are moments of wild and tempestuous nature. That nature is aggressive in these times. And this is a very, very strong storm outside. One that you've can't remember being so bad. There's a bit of a nature for your for stalling.
I sent you a DM to make sure I have the correct location.
Okay. Yeah, just a moment. For your question, Corvair is the continent as a whole. You view west by what is a region called the Eldian Reaches.
In answer to the question they were asked, I come from the Eldian Reaches. I've been traveling for about 3 years, picking up odd jobs. I have a very specific set of skills.
What would those skills be? Might as well make small talk while the storm rages outside.
I am of a sect of druid people. I deal more in the fascination of death.
That's interesting. That's quite the coincidence that you've come by all of a sudden, given what just happened. Doc is gonna kind of get up from where he was leaning against a post and make his way closer to Bellatrix and just kind of like eyeing her. Can I make? Well, actually, no, not yet. I'm gonna go. You know anything about this storm? What's going on? Kind of came out of nowhere, huh?
I have not seen anything like this. Not in at least quite a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what would start it. I haven't been in this region of the continent in quite some time. Last time I was here, there was no town. So.
A lot has happened, especially during the last month or so. You said you were interested in death. How do you mean? Are you talking about study of the magic related to it?
It is a little complicated to explain. It's more of... I have taken it to what my people would call an extreme, but started out in my younger years as a tradition of my people.
Kind of like composting.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus.
I love Terry! I love Terry!
You could say
Holiday, upon hearing Bellatrix saying taking it to the extreme, Silas, you'll see Holiday do his usual thing and point his finger at Bellatrix, casting True Strike, trying to get a little window into what she meant by that. It's like the deeper insight, essentially.
That
Give
would
me
require-
a sleight of hand check.
That would require the player to know.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check, Holiday.
20.
Ooh,
Okay.
he passed
Yeah,
by 2 for my
Be-
passive.
Bellatrix, you do not notice it. Basically, what you gather is this is absolutely a druid from one of the many divisive sects of the Eldine Reaches, a commune of many types that come there. But from what you've gathered, you have no idea which particular group that may be.
Gotcha.
But you can
Okay.
tell a druid. You know a hippie when you see one.
Right. So he basically just gets the sense that she's being truthful. Doesn't necessarily know exactly what she means by it, but she is not being deceitful.
You can't understand the intentions, but you certainly know that doesn't seem to be any sort of shadiness coming from here.
Tracking. All right, sounds good. When he gets that insight, he looks over at Silas and just gives him a thumbs up, and just goes to start rolling a cigarette while he waits out the storm.
While you wait that storm out, we are going to take a real quick break again, and then we will come back and conclude with our third act as we welcome a new character into the fold of this story. So stick around. We're going to take our last break, and then we'll come back with Act 3, and we will conclude our story. We'll see you soon. And welcome back. Before we continue our adventure, several of us run games here on this site. I'm not the only one who does a game here. Silas. Oh wait, never mind. But
Where did he go?
if you want to catch Matt's game on Wednesday nights, you can do so. That is the Dimensional Dial of Dr. Diago, right, Tarzan?
And
Right?
What?
Right, Tarzan? That's the
and
name of it?
you can't
son
forget
of a- Never mind.
you can't forget Isaac's campaign this Tuesday,
Yes, this Tuesday.
Legends of the Shattering.
That's right. And Tarzan, you've also been running a game recently on our
That's
stream.
correct.
The Holiday Rogues Gallery.
Holiday Rogues Gallery. It's currently no set date set. It just happens as a filler for the most part. Trying to work it as a scheduled series one of these at some point in time, but we'll get to that.
And Chris runs a game on our server that has just been fun to play with. He's a fantastic GM. And if you've been wondering where I've gotten this magnificent mug from, well, it just so
Mine
happens
is not
to
from
be
Chris, but I have
from
some.
the very creator who's in our game right now. So while we wait for Matt, Chris, tell us about your wonderful craftsmanship and where they can get such mighty fine items,
Like your product.
including this,
Oh.
a wonderful Skyrim themed mug that I have with the house, the crest of the Winterhold College, my favorite part of the game.
Well, I've been a potter for about 10 years or so. So that's what I do full time now. I took that leap last year. I've been doing it part time for 3 years on my own. Previous to that, I was working at a production studio as a potter. So just throwing thousands upon thousands of pieces, all looking the same. So yeah, now I make nerd stuff every now and then. Getting ready to roll out some pirate mugs and things like that. But yeah, I need to make more of those because I'm going to a con in July, so we'll take some of those there. Anyway, you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, and our friends beyond the binary as well, who are our fans here, we can do giveaways, and one of those giveaways might just be one of Chris's fabulous mugs. You know, it just might be. The only way for you to be able to participate is if you watch our streams and find out when those giveaways are going down, because not only will we be doing it on this, we'll have it on our other streams, as well as when we do our talkback shows, TBD Talks, which will be pretty much whenever. As our wonderful social media manager down there has been updating folks on the Tickety Talks. We're uploading all previous episodes onto our YouTube channel, and we are working out the kinks to it because it's a brand new channel, but we're going to be also on a streaming channel called Kick. They got some weird, like, not like the whole like the stream key and like server stuff is not quite on the par level yet with, but we will be able to get it out. And as you can see right now, we're multi-streaming on our YouTube channel, on our Twitch channel, and on our Twitter channel at the same time. So there is no place you can't find us. We are, we're there, man. We're just right in your face.
Now we just need to get on TikTok.
Can't figure out how to get on TikTok.
We have to get to 1,000 followers before we can live stream, and then
Right.
we can do that.
Then we can get there.
Okay.
And also, it's just this just it's fun. As you can see, all our handles for TikTok are below our names if you'd like to follow us and see what we're up to. Just fun, silly stuff that we make, and you can count how many times. Play a fun game. Count how many times Tarzan calls the Wednesday game by the wrong.
You're gonna be counting forever because he doesn't.
You're gonna have a lot of fun, and it's gonna pass so much time.
Can turn it into a drinking game.
Yeah.
What
Because
needs to
then
happen?
we will be subject to lawsuits of alcohol poisoning.
Also, another fun game you can play if you want to play it while watching the stream is for Dimensional Dial. Count how many times Petrichor is called a toddler, kid, or child.
Yes.
Another drinking game. Cool.
Yeah, buddy.
That one's for water. Do that with water. Stay hydrated,
Do
people.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, please stay hydrated.
Water
We're
check.
counting
Everybody
on
take
you
a
to
sip
do
right
this.
now.
All right, so we'll continue on. As this new not out of place person who's just joined the shelter in Terry's barn. The weather not relenting outside, but Bellatrix, if you could give me a nature check right now.
That would be a 23, good sir.
Oh shit!
You catch the eye of the individual who referred to himself as Silas looking up, and you also catch a glimpse of the sky showcasing, somehow in the midst of this storm, the storm moon of Zarentir. And that's disturbing to you because this is the wrong month for that moon to be visible right now.
Say word.
The moon's coincide with the month of the year. Right now, you have been in the month of Therendor. That is the healing month, as it were. That is the moon that is seen. This is the storm moon. This is not meant to be here.
You guys will just watch as her gaze drifts towards the sky and just cocks her head curiously, a little bit of concern in her face. Takes a note of it. The expression changes to that of just a friendly demeanor and then kind of focuses back on what's happening in the room.
But I've noticed this.
It's a big barn. I think you can pretty much notice what anybody's going to do in this vicinity.
So as Bellatrix is kind of looking out, he's going to go, "What are we looking at there? Oh, yeah, it's coming down pretty good out there." And he's going to hand her a vegetable. Here. And
What
he's
do you
going to give... let's say it's a tomato for you, a cucumber for Doc Davenport, a carrot for Holiday Luckfoot, and an apple for Silas Hayden. I'm going to use the rest of my... Hey, he's the one that made carrot whiskey. He brought this in himself.
You don't know. You weren't there.
I wasn't there. No, that's true. I do not know. I have no idea.
I'm not mad at
Let's see. That is a plus wisdom. So that's 6 temporary hit points for Bellatrix.
Ooh.
That is
Very
7
nice.
temporary hit points for Doc Holiday, or Doc Davenport, not Doc Holiday.
Excellent.
That's a different thing.
That's a different person. I get confused so easily.
There's no way that we could confuse
Doc.
with a Western-themed campaign where two characters decide to take names
Doc
of
and
iconic...
Holiday.
Doc and Holiday as the first names. Yeah.
Ooh.
Who would have thought?
And that is 7 for Silas and 7 for Holiday as well. Temporary hit points. That's the rest of my grit dice, unless we take a short rest.
I love
talking
this,
about,
this homebrew class. It's so cool.
It's a lot of fun. I like it.
If you want to play essentially a assisting class, but you don't want to heavily rely too much on magic, take the find the commoner. It's really fun. All right. So yeah, you feel that this is the food of someone who puts a lot of love and care into their everyday life of farming. Some of the best fresh produce you've ever had.
Bellatrix will take a bite out of the tomato, and then from a small little pouch on her belt underneath of some robes, she pulls out what appears to be salt and will sprinkle it and continue eating the tomato.
Appears to be.
Weird.
Wow, judgy
Oh.
right in the moment. You
Okay.
Wow. The bougiest
Um,
character in the party is being judgmental of the yeah. That's right.
As Terry hands Holiday the carrot, he thanks him. And as he's been sitting here contemplating everything that's transpired, he starts to realize the level of financial impact that these events are going to take on Terry. And he just looks at takes him by the shoulder. Terry, I understand this is going to take some weight on your burden financially. So I'm gonna make sure your shipment gets at least another 20% off the usual rate. Help lighten the load a little bit.
Oh, that's actually really helpful there, Holiday. Are you sure you want to take that sort of hit on your bottom line there?
I'm sure you'll be able to make it up to me at some point in time.
Oh yeah, you'll name anything you need if you need any sort of barley or chicken eggs or got some goats that are getting ready to kind of get a little bit too fat there.
Now
But
that
you
you
let me
mention
know.
it, barley does sound good. That might actually go well with my whiskey that I'm working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once this rain clears, I'll get you a whole bucket full of it over at the green silo.
Oh God. Yeah. At the mention of Holiday possibly ever making alcohol again, you see Doctor go, he like shivers like there was like a cold wind that just ripped through. He's like, oh, God, please don't do that.
You should have listened to Holiday. He wasn't done making it.
Trusted you. I trusted you. Anyways,
You mentioned. Sorry.
No, go for it.
You had mentioned that you're gonna make something out of the barley.
Yeah, I'm adding. I'm gonna add it to, or Holiday's gonna add it to his batch of whiskey that he's working on right now.
Oh, okay. Like, oh well, if you need a good sweetener, my cousin about 2 towns over does beekeeping.
Oh.
So if you need anything right there, that's the man for it. I got a jar or 2 at the house if you want to sample it. But great stuff. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that sounds ideal. I'll have to check it out. Thank you for the information, Terry.
Doc is gonna walk up to. Well, I mean, he's already kind of near Bellatrix, but he's gonna kind of. Bellatrix, you're gonna see him kind of hesitate with his hand in his pocket, and then he's gonna, with his back still turned to the group, he's gonna pull out the small vial of black blood that he had collected earlier, and he's not gonna give it to you, but he's gonna hold it up in front of you, and he's gonna go. Now you said that you were an expert, or whatever they might call you, about death. Now, not more than an hour ago, we just saw something happen, and I think you better look at this. This seems like this would be right up your alley, and he hands it to Bellatrix to analyze.
Bellatrix will take it, kind of hold it up to whatever light or moonlight is coming through cracks in the barn, rotate it around a little bit to kind of check the viscosity, and then uncork it to like smell it.
Okay. Give me a nature check with advantage.
That would be a natural 20 for a 27.
Oh, you love
What'd
to
we
see
get?
it. Okay. The acidic and the bitter smell of death that comes from this vial is potent. It is decayed, necrotic liquid. You have to
I think you're cutting out a little bit.
my computer. Yeah, you come from a culture that embraces death and decay as the part of the natural cycle of life. You are aware of what diseases can smell like from the way that you've been able to dissect and really analyze on such a bare bones level. And you've never seen anything so pure necrotic nature before. In such a tangible presence. It's like blood that has been recycled and refiltered, but somehow devoid of any essence of pure life.
You'll watch a range of emotions flicker across her face, from curiosity to disgust to a hint of outrage before corking it again and giving it back to you. Let's just say, whatever did this needs to be stopped.
So you're telling me that you don't know what did this?
I have seen many things. I can identify many kinds of decay. I've learned that from my people. I've never seen something like this before. This is perversion of everything that life stands for.
And that I agree with. Well, and he's gonna pocket the vial again and just kind of shake his head like, he just hit another dead end. And he's kind of running out of options. He was hoping that she would have answers, but, he just kind of bows his head and tips his hat at her. He's like, well, I appreciate you looking at it and all. I guess it helped a little bit, but we still got a lot of work ahead of us if we're going to figure out, why and who or what is causing what's been going on in this damn town. Yeah, and he's just going to kind of go back to where he was leaning up against the post and just kind of lean up there and like move the liquid around, and like as he just kind of is in deep in thought.
This decomposition, quick decomposition, has Terry seen anything like this in the crops or with other animals that have maybe passed?
There's been talk amongst other farmers and even traders that in the general area, or at least within several towns that surround Wormwatch, and any sort of mining town that is in the Endworld Mountains region of which you're in, there has been this scary feeling that a possible Blythe might be occurring. That the instances of cattle getting diseased or crops coming up, just unsalvageable, have increased. And the more religious type are stating that it is a sign of not being able to be redeemed, while others are trying to use it as an opportunity to sell their special tonics that can solve all of your problems, of which many have come into town and none have been able to be convincing enough. But this is the first-hand evidence that you prayed would not show up on your own ground.
I'm wondering if... Wait, hon, has anything like this ever happened, as far as we know, in the history of this town?
Over the last 3 years, there have been no... other than the things that are to be expected in terms of developing a town, like livestock not being as stable to maintain, or crops having to be rotated, or for whatever reason, the weather patterns being just out of the norm for their own sake. Nothing like this has ever come across this town. And you all still have that lingering feeling of what Terry said, that, you know, once that new mine started opening up, things have been weird.
Does the necrosis happening look anything like Silas's tattoo?
Take a point of inspiration for that. Yeah, you get this vibe that it has a similar energy coming across. Like there was something about the way that the veins from the bite of the raptor turned that inky dark blackness. It's very similar to the color of the dragon mark that's on his arm.
So the 1 point of necrotic damage that Terry took, would he still have something left over from that?
It's faded at this point.
Faded a little bit. Okay.
It's more of just a deeper purplish color that is slowly reverting eventually back to a normal self. But when your skin got pierced, the part that was bit became like pale ghost white, like devoid of color of life in there. And what would be, where blood would be coursing through it, there was just no signs of it in that one bite.
So he's gonna go over to Doc, and while he's like flustered with the dead end that he comes across, he goes, "Can I see that there for just a second?"
Go for it.
And he looks at it and goes, "I'm not sure about brands that you were talking about earlier, but whatever did this thing to that might have done the same thing to your friend there."
You think?
It's got the very similar energy about it.
I'll trust your intuition then. I mean, you seem to have a very sharp eye for these kind of things. Yeah. I think it all
Well,
goes.
I also had one kind of bite me a little bit. That hurt. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was.
Doc is gonna look closer at the wound. Has it healed at all, or can I still?
Yeah,
see?
right around the I would say it probably bit your arm, Terry.
Oh.
There right now it just looks like very deep bruising.
Do you feel any different? Can you? I mean, how does it feel? Does it hurt
No.
when I do this? And I'm gonna poke his arm.
Yeah, it'll hurt. It'll hurt a little.
That's a little tender right there.
Alright.
Yeah, us lows heal up pretty good. But it isn't too bad. I feel bad for Chuck though.
Yeah, I feel bad for Chuck too. Hey, say if it doesn't heal up soon, do you mind if I take a sample? I
Sure.
flash him like an award-winning smile.
I mean, if it'll help your friend there, sure.
All right. I have like a little. I have like, I guess, like a little doctor's apron on, and I'm fishing around in the big pocket that I have, and I'm gonna take out a small knife, and I think I have like a tinker box, and then a rag that is hopefully clean, and a little bottle of whiskey as my emergency reserve. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sterilize the knife, and I'm gonna tell him to go ahead and bat down on this rag. Take a swig of this whiskey. Bat down on the rag. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and cut. And I just go ahead and cut it. Just a little, just enough to wrap up in the rag.
Your surgical precision, being that you are a skilled doctor, will not stop them from being hurt regardless, but it is not going to be severely damaging in any sort of. You are still a medical professional. There's a reason why people go to you above the House Jurasco certified clerics.
They gotta be doing something really wrong if they come to me. They
just trust you more.
Alright. Miners. Are there any mine workers in our town currently?
All of them are.
Yeah, all of them at this point, because the mine has been closed off, so that the rest of the neighborhood watch may investigate it, of which they are currently doing at this time.
Which doc would have, or which holiday would have informed you all had heat?
Yes, you were all actually, for the most part, except for Terry and Bellatrix, informed of this at Ellen's sheriff's office.
Quick question, mechanical wise, is this counting as a short rest?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna at this time use my arcane recovery to recover 3 first level slots.
Yeah. I will say that an hour's worth of time has been passing.
Cool. Didn't need health. I'm full health because no one touched me at all the entire combat.
Can I do a quick history check to try to remember if any of the patients that I had were mine workers, and if they had maybe a similar set of symptoms, or like a pattern that I'm now thinking?
Yeah,
of?
I mean, with a jog of your own memory, just you wouldn't even need to roll for something like that. But you start to think, yeah, there has been some. It doesn't seem like there's been any sort of wound infliction, but you do remember that lately there have been a few miners who have been complaining about some are irrationally fearing about blood poisoning from the dust being inhaled from the working conditions of the dragon shards that are being mined. Others are saying that, there's something in the water that's leaking through, and it's making my veins turn different colors. And it's they all though show these signs of like where they feel that they are infected have been spots of pale, lifeless pieces where the vein that may show up does have a very dark black proclivity to it. Nothing that minor healing or restoration isn't able to solve, and nothing that seems to be long term, but you do feel that lately there had been more.
Okay.
Well, I say, as soon as the storm lets up, whenever that's going to be, we head back to, town square and just kind of, I'll talk to some of my patients, see what they have to say about this. Looks like they got the same little mix as you do, but their skin's a little bit pale, a little bit, and I think I got some questions to ask them.
So there were clawfeet in town then?
Yeah, I mean, can Doc look outside and see if the storm is gonna?
I mean, you could open the door and see what the rain is like.
Opens that door?
The rain is
What does he
not
see?
nearly as hard. The sky is purple, though, practically. Purple and crimson with this just from the sun setting?
Sun's setting?
No, the time. Wait, why does the sky look like the sun is setting right now? And then that's when you hear the bell tower ringing in the center of Wormwatch. All of you hear it. You hear the bell that is essentially a call to action. You hear, this is the cry, this is the bell that is rung when something is wrong in town. And that's when you can start to hear the swelling of screams.
We gotta go. And Doc just takes off running.
What is happening? What
No
is
time
that?
to explain. We gotta go. There's trouble in
That's
town.
an alarm bell in town there. That's means something pretty bad is happening over there.
I'm running.
You all gather up and you start running, and you can hear the voices getting louder, but you also hear rumbling horses as you see parts of the town have been lit aflame at point as ungodly looking ghastly riders, pale in skin, raiding up and down the streets, eyes blood red, grabbing people from the streets, the sky growing darker and darker, while the church bell rings and people are flooding into the church for safety. People are closing their doors. They are trying to get into any sort of shelter that they can as this mob of a handful of 15, 16, it's hard to count how many, black leather riders on hellish looking horses with flashes of crimson lightning now in the sky as they storm up and down. One of them grabbing Silas by the collar and knocking them out on the head while throwing them onto the back. Another grabbing another you see Henrietta Goodwin being practically trampled as she is also being strung up and gathered, and there are children being pushed into the schoolyard by, you hope, one of the own town that's trying to protect them. As the moon above you, you see, is starting to shift, and the rumbling is not so much now from the horses, but from the very ground, it feels like. Holiday, you've never seen something like this before. Doc, you've never seen crazed individuals looking like this. Terry, this is a nightmare come to life. Bellatrix, you've seen the faces of undead before. And you've heard of legends of a return one day. As one singular long-haired rider takes a torch and plants it into the ground, and a symbol forms in front of the church. One that only you, Holiday, and you, Doc, have seen before. That of which one that Silas discovered. That of House Vol. As one stares you into the eyes and you see the sharp protrusion of fangs from their mouth, blood pouring from it, firing into the sky hellish weapons that you've only seen on one other person carry, that of the new sheriff. A cackle into the sky as thunder rains, lightning crashes, and the moon turns red. The rain in the sky no longer just water, heavy in weight, but as you see on your hands now, red. As the rain is now thicker and darker, as if this very sky has been cut open like a wound. Pitch black begins to form over the sky. Darkness begins to settle before everything disappears. And that's where we are going to end tonight's story.
Yo!
Whoa!
Love it.
Whoa!
Love it.
Damn!
I'm about
Like the sky
over
was
here to
cut
start
open.
casting chromatic orb at people.
Lightning.
Oh, that was so good.
I'm here for
Thank
it.
you, everybody, for joining us tonight on this very special concurrent episode of What is Going On, while our rest of our party is trapped in a mine. Thank you to Chris for joining us for albeit a brief time, perhaps, but we never know. Terry may show up again in the future. We don't even know what's going on with the town right now. And we have now been introduced to a brand new member of this story with Bellatrix. So thank you, everybody. We will hopefully be returning next Sunday. If we'll see where our story continues then. Just keep a watch on all our social media at To Be Diced ADV for more updates. Please follow all our channels for clips, for highlights, for replays, and for other streaming shows. So we will see you then on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and on Sundays. Again, thank you to everybody who plays tonight. Be sure to follow them on their respective TikToks, which you can see on the screen names below. And we will see you all next time when it is time to be diced. See you then, everybody.